How are you? This is Oliver Fernandez with the Imperfect Entrepreneur. And today I want to dig deeper into one of the speakers at Funnel Hacking Live. Mr. Ed Mylett was an absolute game changer for me in hearing him speak, and it was just like, holy cow. He said a couple things that were really like inspirational for me, and I want to dig deep into one of the things he talked about. So I shared with you last time that Lily, our daughter, who's 2.5, just started going to new school, and the first day it was like we gave her hand to the teacher, and she went right in, and it was like, holy cow. We were the ones that were like crying and all this stuff, and like inside, and we're like, oh, let me get a kiss, and she was just off to the races. I'm here to share with you that the last couple days have been a lot rougher. She's been like holding on, like grabbing my shirt, not letting me go. But we're gonna work through it because it's gonna be this school is gonna be really a game changer. And just teaching her, or even just allowing her to explore and be around other kids that are older, and just getting her into a different growth mindset. So at Funnel Hacking Live, Ed Mylett was up there, and like his story just like had me like so juiced up. It was like such a great storyteller, such a great person with like sharing emotion, but also just sharing the challenges and just being real and being honest. And he talked about being a transitional character, and I was like, whoa, that is really cool. That is like a game changer. And I was sitting next to my sister when he said that, and she's like, man, Oliver, you were the one, man. So what transitional character is? One person that does something to change the lineage of the family, right? So I'm the third, right? So I'm like, I got Oliver Dan Fernandez the first, Oliver Dan Fernandez Jr., which is my dad, and the first is my grandfather, and then I'm Oliver Dan Fernandez the third. So like there's a lineage there of just a lot of crazy stuff, like domestic violence, just like not having one significant other, not pouring into the family, just a lot of like selfishness, and when I remember like just when I first got into business, and it was like, I gotta create something big. I gotta do this thing, you know what I mean? And like there were so many things that were challenging me. Like, and when I first started like pushing sales, like trying to do sales, like I didn't know what to say. I was like stumbling over the phone. I was, basically getting hung up on, and I was just like struggling so bad. It was like, I gotta keep going. And it wasn't just for me. It was for the lineage. It was for my sisters. It was for the memory of my mom at the time, because she had already passed away. It was for being able to protect my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, to be able to build a family with her. It was to provide and like create something that was gonna change our lives. And like I remember it to this day. Like I was so scared making those calls. And so scared. I didn't know what to say. I just remember literally having like outer body reactions when I was getting ready to make the calls. I was like sweating, and like, getting like anxious, and it's like you're trying to, your mind's, kind of playing tricks on you. So like you should be making the call, but instead you're like trying to like type out a script, and it's like, it wasn't until I started making the calls and getting better at the calls and getting better at the calls and getting better and knowing what not to say, because I've already said the things that didn't work, right? And that was just like such all these internal beliefs that I had to overcome. I've always kind of been like an introverted, like kind of like to be by myself type of person. But like when you're a business owner, that trait is not gonna allow you to go out there and meet people in terms of like getting new business. It's not gonna allow you to recruit new team members to the team, and so that they now understand the vision. Like I had to overcome all of that stuff. I had to become more outgoing. I had to become more of a person that was willing to communicate a message. I had to become a person that was someone that could be a leader, And I remember just even as a kid, like I would always look up to my friends, and they would be like, you know, the quarterback, or they would be like leading, or they would be like so cool, and they would be able to always like communicate the right thing at the right time to the girls. And it's like, man, here I am just like stumbling. And I was like, man, it was like all of those feelings from like as a kid were coming up now when I was starting the business and trying to get out there and to grow this thing. And it's just like, holy cow, like I used the leverage of like family and just like just my mom, my sisters, my wife, just like the people I wanted to help to like just continue to like leverage, push me forward, you know, because like I was here and like this thing was like twerking me, and it was like I couldn't give up because I had all those people that were I was taking full responsibility for. So I wanted to change the lineage that we had, you know, that my family had, that was just in around me, surrounding me, in my environment. I wanted to change all that. And there was all these things that were happening, you know. There was like, you know, that we were dealing with all kinds of external circumstances. You know, I was dealing with the death of my mom. I was going through arthritis, you know what I mean? Like, here I am, I'm like 21, 22 years old, trying to grow my business, trying to do all the right things, trying to, you know, I was trying to just do the things that were gonna change the lineage for my family, and all these things kept popping up. Like, my arthritis was so bad that I literally was hobbling around. I was like walking like with like one leg, because my other leg I couldn't really put pressure on it, so it was like almost like a peg. It was the craziest thing in the world while I'm trying to grow my business. So it's like all of these things were coming up. My mom has passed away, my sisters are in school, and our relationship's kind of deteriorating because like I'm trying to like share like the things that I've learned, and like they're not willing to like listen to me. So like it felt like my world was crumbling, you know. Then the next person in my life who I was really close with, my great aunt, she passed away, and it's like, oh my God, all of these people that were like pillars in my life are now gone. It's like, what next, you know? And it's like, I gotta keep moving forward. And I was moving forward in their memory, you know. It's like, I know my mom would want me to do this. I know my aunt would want me to do this. I gotta make this thing happen. And it's like, all it took was that one phone call. And then I got that one project, man. And it was a scary time because we were in big, massive debt too, you know. Like I was kind of following my dad's lead when I first started the business. I was, the reason why we started the business was because my dad had gone into bankruptcy, and we shared the same name, and he needed a vehicle to be able to provide for our family. And I was like, yeah, I'll sign on the docs. And like that was a mistake, but it was like, it was definitely something to like try to keep the ball moving forward, because in my mind I was thinking that he was the transitional character. I thought he was the person that was gonna do it. But like, you can't change other people if you're only thinking about yourself. If you're not really thinking about the big picture, you know. Yeah, you might be able to, you know, you might break off a little piece for everybody else, but no, you're not like really trying to like transform lives, right? And there was a big thing for me, you know. It was like, you know, I was dealing with all these internal fears, and then I was dealing with all this external stuff from the world that was like literally crumbling down on me, you know. And it's like, when you really zoom out and you start talking about, like, hearing Ed Mylett and hearing all of these people's stories at Funnel Hacking Live, it's like, man, everybody's dealing with something massive, a big problem. There's all these circumstances that are happening, but it's like the people that are willing to accept what's happening on the outside world, acknowledge it, right? They're willing to acknowledge it, then accept it, then start taking action. Like they're only controlling what they can control. Those are the people that actually create the results that can actually make you a transitional character, right? A person that can change the lineage for not only you, but your kids' kids. And maybe your kids' 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 kids. Like that's the game that it's like, holy cow, like I want to be a part of that. And then that's what got me to move. That's what got me to overcome all those internal things that were I was thinking that I wasn't good enough. That's what allowed me to overcome all of the external things of dealing with all the deaths that I was dealing with the actual physical pain of the arthritis. My joints were swelling, my foot was swelling. The actual, like, every step I was feeling, I was a reminder that, like, dude, Oliver, are you sure you want to do this? You sure you want to do this? Walking through an airport, literally taking 100 steps and having to take a moment because my foot was throbbing. It wasn't just hurting, kind of. It was throbbing, you know? But it was having the belief that I wanted to change the lineage for the people that I cared about, the people that I was responsible for, and I had to take responsibility for that. And then it's like the game changer in all of this transitional character stuff is like, this is the multiplier of it all. It's like, how do you become the transitional character, but then teach, or not even teach, but show and expose and inspire other people in your lineage to also step up to the plate and take it to the next level. Like, now that is the game changer. Like, bringing my sister to that Funnel Hacking Live event. Like, she was so inspired. She's like, holy cow, like, I've had all these feelings, but I just wasn't able to, like, put a name to it. I wasn't able to put, like, an action to it. But these actions that they're talking about is what is gonna like allow me to do the things that I want to do in life. So it's like, okay, it's great if you're the transitional character. Like, I can, you know, take away some of the excuses that my sister might have had for going to the event, right? I can expose her to that, to this event. But like, the multiplier is when you can allow there to be enough tension in the line so that the person that you bring to these events is also inspired enough to actually, like, you know, hey, I want to multiply too. I want to create something too. And then now it's like, okay, Oliver's creating something. Now she's creating something. My wife is creating something. Now the people in the organization that I brought now are creating something. Now it's like, holy cow. It's not just Oliver creating stuff. Now we're multiplying this creation, this it's bigger than just me throughout multiple people. And it's like, holy cow, man, this is how companies scale. This is how companies go to the next level. This is how companies go out there and build legacies. And that, like, thinking about that, I was like, man, hearing Ed talk about this is like, I've never heard that, but like, yeah, I want to be that guy. My sister's tapping me, you are that guy, but I feel like I still got more to do. I got more lineage to affect, right? So it was really special hearing that message, and it inspired me, and I wanted to share it with you. And look up the definition of it. Like, Google transitional character. It'll say right there. It's like, I looked it up. I looked it up here too. Let's see what it says. Exact definition of a transitional character. It says, a transitional character is one who, in a single generation, changes the entire course of a lineage. That's building a legacy. Go out there and build your legacy. Let's roll.